5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate very much your generous invitation to be here tonight. You bear heavy responsibilities these days.
Welcome to Stock Legends Radio Show, seeking answers, opinions, and the inside scoop, putting you in the front seat on Wall Street.
In today's market,
This is breaking news. Where is it going next?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Stock Legends Radio, episode 25. Please welcome today's host, myself, Quick Draw. Also, today is a special guest. We have the CEO of public ticker symbol PVSP, Pervasive Corp., which was incorporated in 1964 and a leading provider of video and voice over internet protocol services using cloud-based technology. Paul, welcome to the Stock Legends Radio Show.
Thank you so much, Quick Draw. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, the pleasure is always ours. Now, a lot has taken place since the last time we had you on the show. We want to talk about today, but for the listeners that aren't familiar with you, why don't you give us a quick rundown for a moment or two about what brought you into this particular segment of the business and what you feel the potential opportunity is for your company moving into the future?
Certainly. Our name is Pervasive Corp., and Pervasive is a contraction of the words pervasive IP, or pervasive internet protocol. Our vision when we changed the name of the company to Pervasive was that we wanted to be an IP company that was everywhere with ubiquitous presence throughout the world. And that's exactly what we've been doing with our mobile VoIP app. So we now distribute a mobile VoIP app so that people can make phone calls from their cell phone over an IP network from anywhere in the world to anywhere in the world. And we're in more than 160 countries. We have downloads in dozens of countries every day. And it's exactly becoming what our name was to signify us to be, pervasive IP. So Pervasive, it's everywhere. It's ubiquitous. It's the IP calling app that is spreading all over the world.
Some of the listeners today might be familiar with some of the other services that are in a particular segment, but what Pervasive has that's unique is, number one, it's tied into a cloud-based solution. So where a lot of the other VoIP technologies might not be tied into the cloud, you more or less can reach some of the vast corners of the world with minimal effort and also expand into some of these territories that the other companies, the competitors, might not be able to expand into. You're estimating that you could approach 300 million users by 2013. Are you on course to exceed or meet that previous projection?
Well, the industry is on course to do that. We like this industry because of the constant growth, and it's really accelerated growth that we see occurring. Mobile VoIP will have 300 million users by the end of 2013. That's still on target, and it's such a large and growing addressable market that's the type of industry we want to be in, one with that growing, that large a market that's growing that quickly. Another number that we like looking at is the number of Android users. 1.3 million new Android devices are being activated each day. I was at a conference with the executive chairman of Google, Eric Schmidt, and he was very proud to say that because that means that soon there will be 1 billion Android devices in circulation throughout the world, and each of those devices has the Google Play Store on it, and through that Google Play Store, people can download our app and make voice over IP calls.
That's a pretty significant number. And, going into the next, let's let's put a target out 10 years, 5 years. I mean, at that rapid of a rate, there's not really anybody that I know that doesn't carry a Android phone with them at all times of the day or night. And as we're starting to see, a lot of these melting pot type of countries are also moving towards this technology, and it's really kind of diminishing what used to be the lines in the sand as far as the capabilities, the market capabilities. I mean, they're pretty much merging into a giant global market, and that's made possible by marketplaces such as Google Places and also Samsung, which you're a part of as well. Is that true?
Yes, that's right. We're very happy to be on the Samsung App Store now. That is more difficult to get on than Google Play. In order to get on the Samsung store, Samsung went and tested our app, downloaded it to 71 different models that they make, and we're only in about 50 countries still, which is a little disappointing on our end, especially because if you're in the United States, you cannot download our app through the Samsung store yet. We've had to resubmit the app to Samsung for the US store. Now, the good news for this is there aren't many VoIP apps on the Samsung store. So for the approximate 50 countries that we are in, we're seeing a good download activity of the app. For example, yesterday we had 189 downloads from the Samsung App Store, and almost half of them were from India. So it seems like the people in the Indian community are getting the hang of it. They're seeing it, and they're enjoying it and using it and spreading the word. Our goal, obviously, is to have this app go viral so that there are millions of people using it. And when you're talking about a country like India, if we can go viral in a single country, well, that's great. Yeah, we want to go viral worldwide, but a single country might be all that we need to have happen to the app. And unlike other app companies that have gone viral, we have a revenue model too. Yes, we give away a free app and allow free calling back and forth between subscribers because it doesn't cost us anything. There's no variable cost of sales for that because we don't pay to originate, terminate, or transport a call that's made over the internet. But our app is better than many of those other apps because you can call any phone in the world, and that's our Pay and Go app. You download our Pay and Go app and give us $1, and we're going to let you call any phone in the world and charge you a very competitive per minute rate to make that call. So again, that Samsung App Store, you go up there and you type in VoIP and you look at the VoIP apps. It's Vox is listed first right now, which we're very happy about, and then companies like Tango. And there are only 5 or 6 VoIP apps to choose from, and the app like Tango is only Tango to Tango calls. You can't call the PSTN from Tango. You can do that from Vox, and that by the PSTN, I'm talking about the public switch telephone network or any landline or any cell phone. And that's one of the beauties of our app. So we're eager to get that Samsung App Store to get in all countries. We haven't done that yet, but everything takes longer than we want. But we keep plugging away. We're moving forward. We make progress every day, and we're very proud about how things have developed and how good our technology is. So it's getting down to marketing. We have to continue to market the product, get it on as many websites as we can.
So the last time that we spoke, you were rolling out this app, this pay-as-you-go app, and it was very exciting. There were some hurdles that were in your way to actually bring that to market, but now you're at a point to where the app is live. The app is in a couple of marketplaces. You're working towards the additional marketplaces which you don't have. So right now, you've got a product to market. So more or less, the next step in evolution is just expanding that market. So the strategic places, I mean, the hills and valleys that you had to climb have already been conquered. At this point, you're ready to start collecting revenues.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we the good news is our back office is automated and we collect revenues automatically. You download the app, you give us your credit card, and you get dial tone, you get a phone number, you get a voicemail, and you're off dialing. And from a social network perspective, we think that a lot of people will want 2 and 3 phone numbers on their smartphone once they see how convenient and easy it is, and how you can save money from your regular carrier. Or people will soon realize all you need to buy from the wireless companies is a data plan. And then you go and get your apps from all the app companies. And we're an app company. So you would buy your voice app from us. Maybe you buy a video app. Maybe you get your GPS from someone else. But you'll buy data only from the wireless carriers, and then go and get all the apps you need.
Now, you mentioned, I'm sorry to cut you off there, but you mentioned something that was very interesting to me. You said you could actually have multiple numbers to the same phone. So, let's say, for example, I have a cell phone and I'd like to have 3 phone numbers or even 100 phone numbers. What's the minimum amount that has to be in the account to be able to utilize separate numbers? By saying that, I mean, for example, would I have to load money per phone number, or what's involved with getting these additional phone numbers designated to that phone?
Yeah, for each phone number that you get, you're going to need to buy a Pay and Go app for $1. We do give the free app comes with a phone number with a 200 area code, but so you can dial out on that phone, but you cannot receive calls from a non-Vox customer if you have a 200 area code.
So once you pay, you receive a normal area code.
Right, and you can choose it. So like one of my numbers is a Beverly Hills phone number. And I like having that because I call people in California on that. They're wondering what I'm doing in California. Or there's some people who have been avoiding me when they see my 212, my New York City area code. So I call them on my Beverly Hills area code, and it doesn't register in their head that it's me. And they pick up their phone, and there I am talking to them when they've been dodging me for a couple of days.
Now, you're saying that it's not available in Samsung in the U.S., but it is available on the Google App Store. So you could go and actually get this app from Google in the U.S. and utilize it today.
That's correct. And in fact, approximately half of our downloads are from the U.S. So we're very eager for Samsung to get for us to get approved on the Samsung store in the United States too, because we realize the U.S. is a big market. Now, every Samsung phone has that Samsung App Store icon on the phone. So it's another place for people to find us. But you know what? This Pay and Go app is so powerful that we see it replacing calling cards at retail locations. So we think it's going to be sold not only from the download stores, but we think retail establishments will be selling it. If people look back at a press release, early this year, we have a rep, ASG, that goes door to door and sells to large retailers, and they're pitching the Pay and Go app as a calling card, because that one calling card, when we print a card that says Pay and Go app on it, that replaces multiple SKUs on a display rack. Right now, retailers are selling calling cards. Call Mexico cell phone, call Brazil cell phone, call Europe, call China cell phone or landline, and there are dozens and dozens of different calling cards you can buy off the retail display rack. Well, you can replace all of that with one calling card that says Pay and Go app from Vox, because we rate your calls. No matter what phone number you call, we rate it, and we give you a very competitive rate. If you check our rates, 7 cents to Mexican cell phone, unheard of. No one has rates like that. 12 cents to a Brazil cell phone, just unheard of. So you can buy our Pay and Go card and get the best international calling rates.
Now, taking a look at those pricing, and that's a humongous selling point. Even some of the largest competitors in the world, let's take Pakistan, for example. You've got Skype, who's at 10 cents a minute, okay, which is going to be your most competitive. But their mobile device technology isn't to where it really needs to be. It's not even close to where your technology is. You've got Vonage at 26 cents a minute to Pakistan. AT&T, 42 cents a minute to Pakistan. Verizon, $1.99 a minute to Pakistan. And then you've got your Vox mobile app at 7 cents a minute on the pay-as-you-go plan. I mean, you are actually decimating the competition right out of the market.
Right. Yeah, and we love it. The more people and carriers that see this plan, the more excited we get. And what's very ironic is, I just said how we can replace the calling card in the store. We have calling card companies coming to us saying, "Wait a minute, guys, we have to go digital, or we're going to go out of business. Can we resell your app and brand it under our name, because we see how great this app is, and we want, we realize the future is people just downloading it directly to their smartphones. Can you enable us to get into that business too?" So this Pay and Go app is so powerful that we can sell it in a calling card format, and we can have the calling card companies sell it in a digital format to their existing customers. So we're actually talking to several calling card companies right now, trying to set them up so they can go out to their existing customer base and just blow out the app. Let their customers use it. It's very handy. We kill the competition with it. These calling card companies would love to come in and sell that Pakistan app. We're selling for 10 cents a minute. They're happy to sell it for, we sell it for 7 cents a minute. They're happy to sell it for 10 or 15 and get the extra margin, because we're happy to get 7.
So is this more or less a reseller agreement where you would allow the prepaid card companies to technically brand the app without actually owning it? So more or less like a subcontracted branding type of relationship that you're putting together for these companies?
Yes, we're capable of doing that. We're willing to do that. And we require a significant setup fee. We're not just going to do it for someone and then they don't get any sales out of it. They get minimum sales out of it. So we have a little bridge to get over for these companies that are approaching us for this product, and that's a setup fee that it's not insurmountable, but it's significant enough that it means they're going to be serious and put marketing effort behind it.
Well, this is really an amazing time, because last time that we spoke, there were a lot of hurdles that had to be hopped over. But right now, you're more or less, you're in the doors. As your marketing starts to ramp up and your network expands, you're basically going to start taking over the industry. It's obvious. How could you compete? You have to think as a competitor within the prepaid card segment that you really have no choice but to come on board and more or less become part, join forces with the app in order to even stay competitive to your market. You get flushed right out of the game.
We've made great progress since we last talked. You're right, and now there is some more progress to be made, but we know we can do it. We have a great path. I really don't want to talk about all the things we're doing, but let me say that. Let me say 2 things, okay? One is all these people in India downloading the free app, and some are buying the app too. There's a little problem there, is not everyone has a Visa and American Express card. We need to take more payment plans, PayPal, Moneybookers, etc. There are several types of different payment plans that people in India are more accustomed to than what we use here in the United States. So that's one thing, and we're working on that and adding those, so it's easier for people to buy the app. But then the second comes back to one of my favorite topics is mobile wallet. When we get going with the mobile wallet people, that's exactly the people we want to target, because a mobile wallet subscriber has the 2 things that we need in a customer, and that is a smartphone and money. So the mobile wallet customers already have funds in the mobile wallet bank account, and when we interface with the mobile wallet payment system through the mobile wallet companies, we get paid. Paying us isn't going to be an issue. So we love. We have some big, complicated projects with mobile wallet companies. We love them. They're going along well, and we just think that's a wonderful marketing partner. Again, they already have subscribers. These subscribers have a smartphone and they have money, and that's who we're aiming our marketing at.
Now, for the investors that are listening today, how far away, if you can even say, are you from really opening the doors, in a large way on one of those relationships?
Okay, well, it could be a week, could be a month, and it could be tomorrow. I mean, it's that close. There, some of the entities we're talking to that are in the United States could open up their subscribers to us and point all their traffic to us tomorrow. I mean, it's quote that simple, but of course it's not that simple because there are complexities of billing platforms, web interfaces. Are they going to use our websites? Are they going to use their existing ones? And most of these companies would tend to want to use the existing websites that they're already using because their customers are familiar with them and know how to navigate around them, know how to make payments, know how to look up their call records, know how to change their features and things like that. So everything's more complicated than we would like. And the mobile wallet companies we've been speaking with are overseas, and that really adds another dimension of complexity because of legal issues and corporation issues. There are many extra items to deal with when we're trying to do joint ventures with entities overseas. So everything takes longer than we would like, but we're very excited about them. We know we can do them. We know we have great technology, and the feedback we get from the entities that we're working with who we want to market with has been very positive. We're very encouraged with these companies and their innovation and their growth because they've been very successful marketing companies. And you know what? We're more a technology company. We're a carrier that knows how to program. And these marketing companies are good partners for us. These are the companies we want to do joint ventures with and do deals with, do commission arrangements with, whatever we can work out, because they've shown to us good creative marketing strategies. And like I said, we're the programmers. We're a good combination, a carrier combination with a programmer.
What kind of communities do these organizations carry with them? I mean, what kind of market base do they have? I mean, are we talking, 100,000 subscribers to their mobile wallet, or are we talking about in the millions?
Oh, yeah, a lot of them have in the millions. The mobile wallet company we're talking to has approximately 8 million subscribers. We're talking to like calling card companies with 15,000 existing subscribers, with significantly less, but get us all that traffic, and that's a lot for us. I mean, that's huge for us.
It'd be humongous. I mean, even at, let's say, $10 per customer. And the beautiful thing about this is, for example, when you're selling a hard, tangible product, let's say anything, for example, you're selling a jacket, just as, an example, but once that's sold, when is the actual return revenue going to be coming back in? Is it going to be 2 years when that jacket's worn out and they no longer want to wear it and then they come back for more? In this type of scenario, those revenues come back almost on a daily or weekly basis with your customers that are dedicated to the plan.
Yeah. I mean, we love our business model because pay and go, you pay. Pay is first. First you pay, and then you go ahead and make the phone call. A lot of people using the Pay and Go app, they start with $1. Some start with $5 and $10 and $20, but the people who have been using it are topping up their accounts. They're repeat users. I'll see them top up their accounts twice in a day. I mean, I know one subscriber who her husband's traveling overseas. He's overseas, and she's loading up 3-4 times a week, and it's the best way to call. And again, this Pay and Go app, imagine this. There's still 75 million landlines in the United States. Our Pay and Go app is already on an Android Wi-Fi phone. If you have a landline in your house, do you want to keep paying $15, $20, $30, $25 every month for your line charge and regular recurring monthly subscription fee?
Oh, and
or would you rather
cheap.
Have
Yeah,
Pay and Go? That's
exactly. DSL. I mean, I don't know where you're getting them for $20 per week. I need to call up and join that company. But I mean, even out here, it's so amazingly expensive and obsolete that you have to sit there and scratch your head for a moment. I mean, out here, you're paying $36 for a house line.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Wouldn't you rather pay as you go? If you make $2 worth of phone calls from your house phone, that you should only pay $2. You shouldn't have to pay the monthly line charge and all the taxes on it too. Just pay the $2 a use. So I mean, we have a company starting to sell our Pay and Go app on their Wi-Fi Android phone that sits in your house, because most people have broadband in their house and it's very easy to be a Wi-Fi hotspot. So they're getting these Android phones for their house, just a cordless phone that runs on Wi-Fi. And it's the Android operating system. And Android, we love Android. We think it's taking over the world, and certainly taking over your home, will take over your television. I mean, our chief information officer in 2008 said in an article, I still have the article in print, that 5 years from now you'll be able to touch your television in your home and order our video telephony product. And you know what? When Android's in your home next year on your television screen, and we have our video VoIP app ready, you're going to be able to do that.
Wow. The technology is actually amazing. Now, for the listeners that are wondering today and actually thinking about the philosophy and how the wheels spin behind the curtain, how is the service of a phone call from, let's say, India to the United States? Is it a good quality phone call? Is there a delay in transmission? What is that phone call like for the listeners that are listening today prior to actually putting their hands on the app?
Okay, well, to put it simply, let me say two things. One is, it's as good as your internet connection. So you download our app, and the beauty of our app is you can use it over 3G, 4G, or Wi-Fi. Now, you're downloading it in India. We don't know your 3G carrier, but it's dialing out over the data side of the 3G network. If you have a good 3G connection, you're going to have a great call. If it's, you go into a large building, there's a lot of cement, the service isn't so good there, switch over to Wi-Fi and it'll be great. You get a good, we're calling people in hotel in China on our app, and it's a wonderful connection. And we're even doing video telephony with them. It's a wonderful connection because there's a good, strong Wi-Fi signal in the hotel. So that's one. And my other comment is India to India. Well, you know what? We leave the media stream in country. And the best way for me to explain that in a quick telephone interview is the signal comes back to our switch in the U.S., but the data stream stays in country. And that makes the call much higher quality because we're not running the data stream all over the world.
Rather than coming all the way back just to be sent to the same place.
Yeah.
It's
right.
staying local. And that makes a lot of sense. What is the next step in evolution for your application and technology? Is there a next step, or are you trying to perfect your marketing reach as to what's currently on the table? Because right now, you're leaps and bounds ahead of even where you were when we just spoke recently. You've already got you've got the product to market, and there's a huge potential. I mean, think about the billions of people worldwide. I think 5.4 billion is the world population. I mean, especially in some of the further outreaches of the globe, these people, they weren't born and raised with the type of technology that you or I might see on a daily basis here in the U.S. So being able to get their hands on this technology, especially as a lot of the underdeveloped areas are being developed for the first time nowadays. It's not like, for example, the U.S., where we were developed, 30 years ago, and our technological infrastructure is still based on that 30-year-old system. When you go to countries like India, they're getting built up for the first time, and guess what's going in there? I mean, they're getting T1. I mean, they're getting the good stuff. They're getting the modern age revolution example of the technology. For the people that are in the further reaches, getting their hands on this technology, I mean, has to be life-changing. I mean, they're just taking such a step forward. Right.
Now, so I'll talk about Africa because we're a little more familiar with that. We've been working with several African carriers, looking at the app and looking at video telephony too. Africa's 3G network's really quite solid because as they built their telephone network, they did a lot of wireless technology initially, but it's still the area where wireless, let's say the wireless carriers still gouge the consumer as much as they can on international calling, cell phone to cell phone. So when we look, the company we're working with is TrustPay, for example, the mobile wallet company. When we're working with them and look at, they're showing us the rates. that we would compete against in Africa, country, calling within the country, but calling country to country also, we can save the consumers so much money by offering them our mobile app that we would think they would flock to the app. And then we say, wow, we're doing a great service to them. We're saving them so much money. And then we look at the margins we're getting, and the margins are still very, very high. There's a lot of room in international wireless phone call margins today. I mean, the consumers are paying way too much. And when we come in with low pricing, we're still getting a very, very satisfactory margin.
Actually, that margin has been rated, and it was brought to point in one of your recent press releases. Out of a 5-star rating for all the downloads, you received a 4.75 star or higher rating for the people that have actually tested the product. So it's been market tested.
Yeah, that's right.
That's not an easy rating to achieve. I mean, anybody that's seen a product or even voted for a product before knows it only takes a couple of bad ratings to significantly diminish the overall rating. And that was out of 850 reviews in the Google Play Store, which indicates, in general, the people that are downloading and utilizing the app, they feel that it is a significant value.
That's right. And you know what? We have a high rating. And we still, every now and then someone gives us a 1-star. One person gave us a 1-star and said, "Great app, I love it." And they didn't realize 5 stars was what they were supposed to give us. But once in a while, a guy can't figure out how to work it and download it. It just has a little mental block, or something didn't go right, and we get trashed anyway. But it is very comforting that the overwhelming response is very, very positive, 4-star and 5-star ratings, because we think we made it as seamless and easy to download as possible. We've been doing this for a while, and some of the downloads were pretty complicated. We think it's very automated, and we keep making it better. I mean, our programmers are second to none, and it's still a company and a thought process of continuous improvement. We know we have a very, very good product, but we also know that we can always make it better. So with continuous improvement, inbound marketing now, and going to carriers and retail stores, we're very excited about our future. And quick draw. I hope before this, somewhere before this segment runs, you do a big forward-looking statements disclaimer, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. We can have the chipmunk voice come on at the end. That's no problem.
Yeah.
So you've already exceeded 100,000 downloads from the Google Play Store, and that's over a fairly recent time period, isn't it? I mean, what time period is that 100,000 download marker from?
Well, I think we started about a year ago now, last November. But the first version of the app was limited. It wasn't the pay and go app. It was call 60 countries for $30 unlimited. So did people want to pony up $30? Yeah, not always. So then we started a free trial, 60-minute free trial, or 60/60 plan. 60 minutes, 60 countries for free. Give us a try. And so, like I say, I mean, it's really, we have the philosophy of continuous improvement. So this pay and go app is extraordinary. We've met with a carrier, a competitor that wants to sell it. And the reason they told us they want to sell it is they decided that their 50 programmers would take them more than a year to replicate what we've already built. And they don't want to waste that much time and risk that it takes more than a year for them to replicate our product. So they want to work with us and get on board with us, and they want to private label our app. So we're getting so much good feedback and review about this. So I was saying, I mean, there's still some things we got to do. We don't take PayPal. I want to take PayPal on this. I mean, we all do. There are other payment plans that we in the United States probably have never heard of, but we want to go to those countries and use those payment plans in our billing system so we can take them and we go to sleep at night. We can wake up and have 10,000 new subscribers who have paid for the app and are making phone calls, and it was all automated and happened while we were sleeping. And again, that's why I love Mobile Wallet, because Mobile Wallet has the payment system in place. They have the subscribers with the money and the payment platform. So we're really targeting mobile wallet companies too.
Yeah, it seems like a huge opportunity. Now, we know modern marketing is a little bit different than it might have been a few years ago. We even see a lot of the larger companies curbing back hundreds of millions of dollars budgets and starting to push it into social media, short videos, things of that nature. Now, you had a video that was released just a few weeks ago today, Vox New Play and Go video, which has already been viewed almost 70,000 times in 3 weeks. This just gives you an idea of the opportunity. 70,000 plays in 3 weeks. Obviously, people are watching this video and they're absorbing the technology. 70,000 new customers, even at a couple dollars a piece. I mean, that's, just under a couple $100,000 in instantaneous revenue. And that's at $1 or $2 a piece. I mean, that's not even, 10, 15 minutes of phone time?
Right. Yeah. And you're right. That pay and go video, young gentleman dressed nicely, explaining the pay and go app. Yeah, that's a good indicator of how many people are actually, going to the Google Play site and considering downloading the app, because that's the video on Google Play. Okay, so now that's not on the Samsung App Store, but it is on Google Play. So that gives you an idea. If you track that today and look at it again next week, then the week after, that gives you an idea how many people went to that Google Play Store and wanted to consider buying our app. And hopefully they, at a minimum, they downloaded the free app after they saw the video.
Right, that's roughly 22,000 people per week, and that's, with limited marketing at this point. At this point, you're just ramping up your marketing, increasing your marketing strategy. So, I mean, even at, let's say, 23,000 people per week, if you were to get 5 or 10,000 new people to get $10 worth of service, $15 worth of service as a trial basis, that's overnight 7-figure revenue operation instantaneously just off of the pay and go alone.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, I have one of our long-term shareholders says to me, "You know what, Paul? You guys are going to be an 8-year overnight success. I mean, one day you're going to wake up and that'll be it. You will. Yeah, I mean, you will now be successful. You will. It'll happen overnight. It's just one of these days, it'll happen."
Oh, exactly. And the good news for the investors that are in the company now and for the new investors listening today, a few months ago, there were a lot of hurdles that had to be hopped over. You were still trying to get the pay and go to market. You're still working out a lot of the fundamental parts of the process to try and get that there for the investors today. That overnight success can happen tomorrow. It can happen next week. It can happen 2 weeks later. For investors that are looking for a real company to invest in the market, that right now you can get a very significant amount of shares at a very reasonable price that has something going on. I mean, you have to be one of the top 1 or 2 stocks tradable in the market. And again, that's just my opinion. I'll leave that to myself. But there is so much opportunity here, short-term, mid-term, and long-term with your company. It's pretty amazing. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, just as far as the numbers and market reach alone, when you look at a normal market segment, for example, let's pick any other segment in the market, it could be bio. Okay, so you really only have that very confined niche to try and tackle to generate revenues off of. But when you have something that's so in common on a global level, like an app like this that literally everybody worldwide could use and take advantage of, I mean, your market reach is just so much larger than any of the other segments or competitors or other industry types. I mean, you've literally got a global audience. I mean, everybody that I know walks around with a smartphone, and even going into some of these darker corners of the globe or melting pots, now they're starting to step up and be in the same position. I mean, imagine a year from now, a lot of these countries and areas that previously weren't even open to receiving services like this will be walking around with a smartphone in their hand. I mean, there's nobody that can rebut that, in the world. I mean, it is what it is. That's how quickly it's growing. And what was that number there? 1.4 million additional smartphone users per day or per year? Is that what it was?
Well, it's 1.3 million new activations a day. And when Google says that, they claim that, it's not that they really are new activations, new devices being activated each day.
So these are people that previously were not a part of this marketplace. So that just goes to show you the reach. By this time next week, another 10 million people will be walking around with smartphones. You really can't even put into words how rapidly the segment is developing. I mean, it's got to be one of the fastest expanding segments and industries, I mean, in the world globally. Technology is growing by leaps and bounds, and what we're starting to see, especially in today's day and age, is a lot of these companies that have been the go-to sources for things like phone and internet and video conferencing and things of that nature are having to either A, change their game, partner up, or B, ship up and go home, because the technology is starting to surpass them and customers are getting smarter. They're saying, hey, you know what? I'm not going to spend $100 a month for this. I can go get it for $10 a month here. And it just makes sense. There's no sense to spend the extra money, especially in a time where every dollar counts and people are trying to save for the future. A plan like this, go and look at places like Thailand, all these other different countries. I mean, Vietnam, they're paying $1.99 a minute for Verizon to make a phone call long distance, AT&T 57 cents a minute. When you're comparing that to 7 cents a minute by downloading this app with nothing but a data plan, obviously it's a no-brainer. So it becomes a challenge of getting the menu in front of those customers. Of course they're going to buy it. Nobody in their right mind would not. Competitors are saying you can only call the person that has this particular company's app to another person that has this particular company's app. Well, that takes away 90% of the market. With your plan, you can call landlines, you can call cell phones. I mean, you can call anybody that you want to call. If you present this to somebody in Vietnam where the competitors are at $1.99 a minute and you're at 7 cents a minute, they're going to buy the product. Needless to say, it's common sense. So you're faced with not trying to make a product work. You're faced with getting the menu system in front of the customers that need it, which is a very unique position to be in. It's extremely exciting.
Yeah, we're very excited about the opportunity. And internally, we do not think we will have an opportunity like this for the rest of our life. We can't imagine an opportunity being this good and this big, to cross our path again in our lifetime. Being part of the mobile internet revolution is very exciting, but having this kind of app, and you know what? I mean, we're only talking about the mobile VoIP part of the app. We have a mobile content platform. We can push video to that phone. We can push adverts to that phone. There's so many things we can do. Or you buy a tablet, and now you can make phone calls off your tablet. Or you know what? We've talked about our video app. It's not ready yet. It hasn't been a priority yet. But as more and more tablets are being sold, what a perfect device to have video calling on. You have a nice big screen. You may as well make a video call.
Oh, exactly. And for the business of yesterday, where you had to hop on a plane, you had to wait at the airport for 8 hours, hop on another plane. By the time you show up at your business meeting, you've only slept for 4 hours in a bed that's unnatural to you, and you get to your meeting, you've got bags in your eyes, and you're expected to perform in front of a conference room. Those days are gone. Nowadays, you can just tilt the tablet onto a table, go through your business presentation, still have the look, touch, and feel qualities as you would in a normal live presentation, yet have it from the other side of the world. And it's just amazing. The technology, I mean, I remember when tablets first started coming out, and it's so humorous to me because coming from part of the younger generation, when the tablets first started coming out, I heard a lot of the older business people saying, oh, well, it's kind of like a wasted technology. I have my home phone. I've got my cell phone. Why would I need a tablet? It's really nothing different. My phone has the same technology. But go ahead and look at the tablet sales over the last few years, and it speaks the contrary. And those same people that were saying that 3 years ago are the same ones that are going around and flashing the iPad 2 or the new Samsung tablets conference room, and they'll be the first to give you a one-on-one demonstration on why there's so much value in having it. And it's pretty amazing how the minds shift in such a short period of time, and something that previously you would have thought was a wasted expense now is a must-have in order to survive in the business world. So
it certainly is.
With your video calling platform, I know that you still have a little ways to go with that. How is that going to perform as part of the application? Is it going to come with, like, for example, if I download the Vox app, is that going to be an additional app, or is it going to be married with that app as a kind of like a two-in-one type of application? Or what is that going to look like when it comes to market?
Well, you'll have the opportunity to download an app that's video. See, now we could add it. We could just push it to existing subscribers, but it's gonna come down to marketing and do we want to charge for it? Do we want to charge only in certain instances? So it's kind of like we got to figure in what bucket it's going to be in to determine if everyone gets it or if we want to take a different path. We can do whatever we want. It's gonna really come down to a marketing decision on how people get it.
Right, but hopefully by that point in time, once that does come live, you'll already have a substantial market reach. So if you do decide to go to your existing customers, you won't necessarily have to go and chase down these other relationships to take advantage of their clients, because at that point they'll already be yours. So you kind of control your own destiny at that point. It's an amazing technology. Watching the technology advance over the years has always amazed me, just seeing how far these technologies come. Utilizing this type of VoIP solution directly to cell phones with the cloud technology is an ingenious idea, and I think that it's actually going to revolutionize and change the industry as we know it in the coming years. I highly expect to say one day, maybe 6 months from now, maybe a year from now, I actually did an interview with Paul Riss, from Pervasive Corp, PVSP, and when they were just coming to market with that, and I feel very strongly that this is going to be one of those opportunities. Like you said before, the idea has already been tried and proven. People love the app. They find the value in it. It's more or less just taking over the market. So for the investors that are listening today, you're not just holding shares in a company hoping for a quick profit, or maybe you are depending on your strategy, but for the investors and for the people that actually invest in the market based on due diligence and forward-looking opportunity, you have to be extremely excited knowing that the hurdles have already been hopped over. Right now, it's more or less just a challenge of getting the menu in front of the right people that need it, which it's on a global scale. It really doesn't get any bigger than that. Some of the biggest competitors in the world are charging over 2,000% what you're charging with the Vox Mobile Pay-As-You-Go app. The competition really is not there, and there's so many other opportunities that open up, like you said, with the prepaid calling cards. They want to now come on and they want to brand the app and market it to their customers. That's a huge revenue source. You've got the iPad customers, it's a huge revenue source. You've got so many different ways to collect revenues. The next 6 to 12 months could be a significant game changer, not just for yourself, but for the end users on a global scale. It's phenomenal. We've always enjoyed having you on the show, and the last time we spoke, you were just trying to get this to market, so now it's to market. For the investors that are listening today, you have an opportunity to come in at a rock bottom price on a stock that has a ton going on and a lot to offer the world and the end users. There's not very many stocks in the market that have the stars lined up as well as PVSP. And Paul, I mean, you've got a strategic management team in place. You've got your developers in-house. So you're actually controlling the court as to where a lot of other companies have to sub out various aspects of the company. And you're pretty much just controlling everything. Everything's done. So as far as when these strategic relationships come to the table, you have the definitive factor all in-house as to which directions you want to go in and which relationships you want to utilize or not. And that gives you a lot of power at the closing table.
Yeah, that's right. We love that. When we started this, we said to ourselves, Google did it right. They own their own code, and they can process 1 billion searches a second. That's we want to. We're the same thing. We're data. That's what a VoIP call is. It's data. We want to process data on a server farm just like Google, and we're doing it. Now we just got to get to, instead of 1 billion searches a minute or a second that Google does, we'll do 1 billion calls a day, something like that. Same concept.
Exactly. And the most important aspect is that you control the ball. You control the court. I mean, you're even handing out the tennis rackets.
Yep. Yeah,
so
that's right. That's right.
Whoever comes and plays needs an invitation. So that gives you a ton of leverage at any negotiating table. And again, just speaking from my own mind, but all kinds of different doors can open up. I mean, let's say, for example, AT&T or one of these other companies, I mean, they're at $2 for the same minute of talk time. Let's just say that they were to come in and say, you know what, we need this technology. Definitively, you guys can make every decision in-house. And that's extremely rare, especially in this segment of the industry, to be able to make all those decisions in-house. Typically, it's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 other parties that things have to be coordinated with and negotiated with and bounced off of. And it's extremely exciting to be able to have that technology and the final say and answer all under one roof. The opportunities are endless for the investors holding shares today. Really, anything is possible and at any time. You're holding shares in history, and that's my 100% true opinion on the stock in this company. Anything that you'd like to talk to the investors about that you may be looking forward to moving into over the next 30 or 60 days, or maybe possibly how you're planning on ramping up your marketing strategy going forward here, and what to expect, or even what your plan is with your marketing strategy and what networks you're hoping to go after and utilize other than the mobile wallet, like social networks or localized forums or chats for particular countries, anything of that nature?
We have some significant carriers and retail customers we're going after, but Mark Richards, our Chief Information Officer, and myself, we both built CLECs. Now there's an old word, CLEC. We both built competitive local exchange carriers doing outbound marketing. And it was a very effective model and very predictable. And we love modeling. We love knowing what our customer acquisition costs are going to be. Well, that just doesn't work anymore. The good news is we're really teed up well now for inbound marketing. We've done a 180-degree turn on this, and we've set up our systems for inbound marketing. There's so many affiliate marketing groups now, and classified ads and web blogs and articles and salespeople who have learned to sell digital products very successfully. Ebooks is a great example of that, or especially an ebook, How to Win a Video Game. They're hugely successful. So there are so many great marketing channels that sell digital products. Well, guess what? We have a digital product. You download it, you're up and running in 30 seconds making phone calls. And that's what we're moving now to take advantage of. The inbound marketing that comes with, social networking and blogging and article writing and, being in cyberspace. And it's perfect for our product. And it's perfect for our back office because, as I was saying, our back office is fully automated. I can go to sleep tonight and wake up tomorrow morning with 10,000 new subscribers, and because the machines do it all. We built it with no human intervention because, you know what? 1, humans make mistakes, and 2, they got to sleep. The machines do the work, and they put you online, and you can make calls. If you have a valid credit card, you can start making calls in that Pay and Go app while we're sleeping.
We've seen it happen in the grocery stores. The 60-year-old teller with the smoker's voice was replaced with the, with the computerized checkout line. And it's the truth. They don't have to eat, don't get into an argument with their husband or wife before they come to work. All those human deficiencies go out the window, and you literally turn into a 24/7 sales machine. And being able to market a lot of these products online and in those types of communities also saves significantly on the costs. In the 90s, you had to spend millions of dollars to be on primetime TV or radio in order to get your product seen. Nowadays, you can utilize 90% of the marketing through these social networks, forums, and communities cost-free, which has been a huge change in the way the overall marketing industry is looked at. So we're happy to see that you're taking advantage of that. Well, Paul, it's always our pleasure to have you on the show. I've always been a huge fan of your stock and will continue to be. There's few companies that I look forward to speaking with more than yours. I'd love to invite you back on the show in the next 30 days or so, 60 days, since, at this point, things are moving so rapidly, we'll have to kind of move our interviews up from every 3 or 4 months to every 30 days. We'll stay in touch and see where you're at that point in time.
Well, thank you, Quick Draw. It's really great speaking with you. I enjoy these conversations, and I look forward to doing some more.